by the way. So we have mentioned we have started our course and now we are dealing with our syllabus, but we mentioned two major changes in the direction of the energy. One of them is towards the clean energy direction. So world is now um, gradually leaving, not enough, in my opinion, not enough, but gradually leaving the fossil fuels, particularly the coal. Coal is the terrible one, particularly in order to provide electricity. And the other direction is the digitalization of the whole energy system. Digital, of course, towards clean energy is obvious. Solar radiation and solar cells, solar power plants, and wind power plants. Onshore winds means that wind generators are located on the ground, mainland, but also seashore, or it's called offshore. So sea level wind generators are getting more and more applied since most of the land is covered, particularly for developed countries. In Turkey, we also have a good amount of wind generator capability, which is what we are going to discuss anyway. But we have to first see the course content. The course content is saying that what is energy policy and the scales of the energy policy. The scale is interesting. Even a person, even a family, there is an energy policy. You in your house you select, for example, heating methods. Electricity heating is possible. The natural gas burned heaters are possible. More and more uh, coal is now diminishing. Coal is getting out of system. However, there are some areas in Turkey still use coal in order to warm up their buildings. And the policy could be company level. Now, what companies are doing now, the, also the Okan University did it, put solar cells on top of the buildings and get electricity from it. This is one point. But also legislation is possible if you hire a land or if you buy a land far away from your factory, and if you install a power plant over there, the electricity you produce is assumed to be that in your company's electricity. So you are not paying electricity bill to the main supplier. Main supplier is TEİAŞ. So Turkish Electricity Anonim Ortaklığı. Anyway, so even municipality level, there must be energy policy. In municipality level, of course, the transportation use more and more clean energy. So electric buses or metros or railway systems, underground railway. So this is the municipality policy. And also using the lighting the streets, for example, using high quality, higher efficiency bulbs in order to illuminate the streets is also another part of the municipality policy, energy policy. State level is very important. Every state has got their own policy, but major policy in global, which is COP20. Do you know what COP meetings is called? Çok büyük bu galiba. Bir dakika biraz küçülteyim şunu. Bir şey yazacağım. I'm going to write something. COP. United Nations Clean Energy Meetings 28, the last one. It was somewhere in, I think, United Arab Emirates. The one before was in Egypt. The one before was in Glasgow, United Kingdom. Every 2 years, there are COP meetings, and the people are declaring their clean energy policies over there. United Nation is organizing that. Okay, UN. So, of course, in global level, the top agreement is the Paris Agreement in 2015, Paris Agreement. Even China and United States was reluctant in the past. Now they also joined the group, and they are adapting clean energies as well. They realize that the temperature rise 1.5 degree plus diyeyim şuraya, tamam mı? Plus centigrade. That is the limit. So there is a globally average temperature level on Earth, average, and that is gradually increasing. And it seems that in probably end of this year or the next year is going to exceed the increase. This is delta C increase 1.5 centigrade level. That, of course, you all know is going to be. We are going to have heavy rains. We have already not going to. We have already got heavy rains. We have got some part of the world becomes drowned. So there is no rain at all. And also we have melting the ices and things. Last week we discussed that one anyway. So I go there. The definitions I'm going to give you today, the fossil fuels, coal, oil, everything, and hydrogen is getting more and more discussed by the energy people, and nuclear energy is still rising, by the way, although it sharply dropped by Europeans, particularly the Germans. France is continuing their nuclear power stations. However, Germans, Sweden, some other countries already cancelled. United Kingdom is installing. I look at the figures during the week. The Koreans building up, Chinese building up, Turkey is building up, and also United Kingdom is doing. There are some Vietnam, I think. There are some countries that they are now building nuclear power stations again, and also Japan. Last week we talked about the Fukushima accident. Now Japan is turn on their already existing closed nuclear power stations. So they start producing electricity by using those nuclear power stations. We have already got one is under construction, and probably in a few years' time it's going to complete. It's south part of Turkey. The other one is going to be in the north, in Sinop region, and then third one was considered anyway. So that's these are the energies, definitions of energy conversion, secondary energy, transmission, and also storing energy. Storing energy is important, and also Carbon capture is also another point. So clean energy is important. Carbon capture is another policy. Utilization of energy is also a very important part. Is although it's not directly linked with my course, but I'm going to emphasize on that. Energy efficiency is very important. You see, if you improve the efficiency of your building, if you improve the efficiency of your factory, if you improve your city, efficiency of your city, that means reducing the waste of energy. That means you are saving actually the cost of another new power stations or huge amount of export. The exporting countries and importing countries are important, so you have to know about those. I think we have to come some challenging and enjoyable part of my course. I'm talking too much. I know if someone talks too much, then students becomes, inactive, and then they become lazy. So it's going to be difficult to follow a person which is talking, even face to face. So time to time I'm going to expect you to contribute the course, and then um, we are going to use British Petroleum reports and the International Energy Agency reports, and electrical energy topics. Of course, the cost is also a very important part. Uh, Financial part is also very important in policy. Don't forget that. You cannot invest on a very, very clean energy with sacrificing some of the incomes to spend on this one. You can't do that. So every system should become profitable. Anyway, residential application, residential, industry, and transportation. There are three major parts. And also, we are going to make a one midterm exam, one final exam, one final project. Okay, that is the system. Uh, uh, you are asking what kind of exam is going to be final exam. We are going to see. Anyway, these are the material we are going to use. Time, you see, for many years I've been using International Energy Agency outlooks. Some of them from for example 2012, 13, 14, 15. Every year I receive those reports, and also British Petroleum. But British Petroleum is presenting an introductory knowledge to the system. That's why I'm going to start with this one. Okay, so let's go and continue. We have already 35 students in our classroom, so it's crowded. Nice. I hope you are all listening me. I'm just going to make, last week I think I did it, so I'm just going to make it very fast now. Okay? Follow me. The introduction part. These are the materials. Primary energies, units, secondary energies. Uh, of course, solar, wind, geothermal, hydro, biomass are renewable, uh, and mainly clean. Mainly clean. I'm a little bit skeptical about geothermal, however, and also biomass. They might produce some kind of environmental um, problems, let's say, not high, but environmental problems. However, coal, oil, natural gas, these are fossil fuels, and all of them are, uh, let's say, dirty energy sources. But these are primary. I'm sorry, still this one is Turkish. Birincil, primary energy sources, that one. And nuclear. Bunu unutmuşum kalmış. Evet, devam ediyorum. Major secondary energies. Of course, when you burn coal, petroleum, you produce heat. Heat is an energy. Another one, if you produce heat and if you produce steam, for example, then this steam, or if you have a water falling down from the dam, then of course this mechanical motion is a mechanical energy in translational direction, in motion direction, but then it rotates the turbine. Wind, for example, is a primary energy, wind, but it rotates the blades and the generators, so it becomes another conversion, becomes one mechanical energy converts the other mechanical energy. Then generator is connected to this, so you have electrical energy. There are other forms. The chemical, for example, particularly storing energy is in batteries, use chemical energy, or pneumatic energy, or hydraulic energy. These are also secondary energies. I think we have already discussed that one, but I'm just going to give you wind generator first receives the mechanical energy wind, then rotating, then follow my cursor, please, then electrical energy. Solar energy, there are two types of solar. One of them solar photovoltaic, which directly semiconductor photovoltaic cells produce electricity. But this one is, there are mirrors, and those mirrors focus energy in a certain point and boil the water, and that water produce steam, and then this steam produce rotating the turbines and then produce electricity. That is very interesting. Don't mislead that one, or don't ignore this one. It's called fuel cell. Hydrogen plus oxygen produce electricity, some water, and some heat. That's also a possibility to be used in electric trucks or buses for high power. And also, some people suggest that it might be used in producing electricity in big buildings as well, and also heat together with it. Hydraulic energy is you all know that in dams we store water, and then water falls, then from that um, potential mechanical energy, then when down, it becomes a kinetic energy and rotates the turbines and produce electricity. Geothermal energy is directly comes up from the beneath the earth, and then it's warm. Some of them are steam actually. It's useful to be used in farming areas as well. And also it's possible to produce electricity. But you can see that most of the green ones and also red ones, at the end, they produce electricity. Electricity is the famous secondary energy. So for coal, we burn down coal, produce heat, and that heat produce, um, of course, steam, and that steam rotates turbines, and that's a mechanical energy, and then those turbines produce electrical energy. Natural gas has got a similar effect. When you burn the natural gas, you produce heat. Heat is a secondary energy, but because of the heat, you produce steam, and then uh, and also you use that heat for, it's called combined cycle electric power stations. You also use that heat for supplying heat energy to buildings, neighboring For example, neighboring city, you supply that heat, since you have to cool it down with those uh, even the coal or natural gas power stations. Oil uh, is not widely used, but in some oil-rich countries have electricity production power plants using the burning the oil. Nuclear is completely different type. That nuclear material, uranium, titanium, I'm sorry, not titanium, uranium, öbürü neydi? Neyse, thorium, there are now two types. One of them is uranium types, the other one is thorium types. But don't mislead. This one is fission. In Turkish we call it fisyon. That one is fission. But there is also another method, is called fusion. Fusion is completely different method, where there is a center called CERN in Switzerland, and also in United Kingdom and in France, in Europe, there are some research institutes. They are working on this one. It's actually based upon the magnetohydrodynamic generators, which is called tokamak. Tokamak is a famous Russian, the inventor is a Russian Soviet at that time. It's an old one. That fusion is clean, by the way, but not yet commercialized. I repeat, don't forget. There are two types of nuclear. One of them is fission, the other one is fusion. Yazayım şunu bakayım. Burada çok az yer var ama yazacağım. Bir dakika. Şu 5 puntoyu bir küçülteyim önce. That one is fission. Spelling yanlışı yapabilirim. Cep telefonundan bir kontrol edin. Check it up. Whether it's a double S or one S, I'm not sure. That one is fission. Double S. This one is I think böyle. Bir dakika, ben buradan kontrol edeceğim. I'm going to control it. Yeah, double S. This is double S. The other one, şimdi ona da bakacağım. Evet, burada tek S. What is fusion? What is nuclear fusion? Nuclear fusion. It says, no, come on. Whenever you get, economist is asking questions. All right. So this one, fission is dangerous one, since as long as the reaction starts, it continues to produce heat. Therefore, you have to continuously cool it down. However, for fusion is completely different method. So you are accelerating the electrons, and you produce a fusion, and then you produce electricity. It's called tokamak generators. However, this one is not commercialized. That one. The second one, this one, is not commercialized yet. And I have a funny story about it. When my professor, nuclear power professor in electrical and electronic engineering faculty at Istanbul Technical University, where I was very young, in one conference he said that in it was, by the way, one 19 1988. It was a conference 1988. So 88, 98, 208. It's 35 years ago or 40, almost 40 years ago. He said that fusion is very nice, but he says we need some time to develop technology. Therefore, he says 2015 or so is going to be fully commercialized, and then energy problem is going to be solved. So if you look at some magazine type of newspapers, you still see some kind of news saying that the clean nuclear power is developed 40 years ago, and it has all started 1950s, 1960s, or something like this. So it means it's difficult to commercialize it yet. And even 40 years ago, they were believed that it was going to be 2015. So 10 years ago, for our time, it would have been um, commercialized. It hasn't done. However, now the small power, uh, thorium, for example, one of them, type of nuclear power stations are getting popular. You see, installation of nuclear power station takes more than 10 years. So huge amount of money is inserted in. During the progress of my course, we are going to learn how could we invest on. This is what energy policy is all about. So you are an energy minister, and you are going to decide which energy I'm going to uh, spend money on. For nuclear, you are spending billions, in Turkish milyarlarca dolar, in for 10 years. Therefore, that money's also that money's uh, value should be considered as well in cost calculations. So nuclear power stations are expensive, all right, but it is clean and dangerous. So that's the simple definition. It's dangerous. We must accept that. We must be careful about it. If probably you may ask me whether I'm in front, fond of nuclear power or not. It's hard to say something, but one thing is very clear: coal, particularly lignite, should be left, should be uh, cancelled, should be prohibited. You see, lignite is not a good energy source and dangerous, I believe. And also they produce some uh, acids, and also they produce some uh, radioactive waste as well. Anyway, çok uzattım. I'm sorry. These the parameters affecting the sustainability of the parameters affecting the global energy policy, sustainability of energy, cost of energy, global warming, digitalization of energy, and also the efficiency and energy intensity. Energy intensity. All my students know what energy intensity is all about. Is there anyone who's going to contribute on energy intensity? What's the energy intensity? I'm asking you. If you contribute on that one, I would be delighted. What is energy intensity? That's Montaha, dur bakayım. Kim konuştu gitti. Just a moment. Montaha Abdurrahman says, measure of the energy efficiency of an economy. Yeah, you are right. You are right. In which respect, of course, we have to explain the equation. It reflects the quality of the economy, actually, or quality of the energy system. Where do we use energy? We we live in a house. We use energy. Warm up the house. We go to the university, so we use either bus, train, or private car. We use energy. Then we live in a university, and also we have a lunch there, so they are cooking. So for cooking, energy is used, and then we spend some money. So if we finish, if if we don't have money, so we go to the bank office and get some, or use credit cards and things like this. So the money also involving. Then you come back to your house. In the meantime, very neighbor of your university, let's say there's a big factory, it's an industrial zone. In industry, they produce electricity, they produce automobiles, they produce refrigerators and things like this. Those refrigerators are sold. So the money involves, but for those money involving, also energy is used. So that's energy intensity is this moment. E, total energy. Total energy. Evin bir yerine saklamışım pedimi. Onun için elle yazıyorum. Divided by gross domestic product. GDP. Bu GDP'yi ezberleyin çocuklar. Gross domestic product. Total energy, let's say, şimdi yani gigawatt, megawatt, terawatt, it could be. However, yani energy, you know the energy units. We are going to discuss the energy units anyway. And also GDP. So that means money. That means how much energy we use in order to produce that wealth. Türkçe söyleyeceğim. Bu zenginliği üretebilmek için biz ne kadar enerji harcıyoruz? Bu zenginlikten kastım kişi başına gelen gelir gibi düşünmeyin. Toplam devletin geliri, GDP, Gross Domestic Product. Para yani, money. Bu TL, bu TL. TL de demeyeyim. Her şeyi dolar üzerinden tutuyoruz nasıl olsa. Bunu silelim. Bunu hiçbir zaman unutmayın çocuklar. Bu en önemli figürlerden biridir. Energy intensity. Bir ülkenin ekonomisinin modern olup olmadığını, if your economy is modern, update or high quality is clearly be seen from this part. Dolar. Bu dolardır. Bu megawatt olabilir, gigawatt olabilir. Sorry. Yanlış yaptım. I made a mistake. Who is going to correct me? Who is going to correct me? I said megawatt, gigawatt. What is what? Who is going to correct me? That's wrong. Orada mısınız? Are you there? Amir says it should be, of course, joule is energy, but megawatt, gigawatt, or gigawatt hour is supposed to be gigawatt hour, megawatt hour, or joule. So I by mistake I said power. So be careful to differentiate between power and energy. Power is the look at me. Power is the one pulse. So for example, if you want to accelerate your electric vehicle, you need a power, since you need a torque. So that torque actually rotates the wheels. Okay, but in order to reach from Istanbul to Ankara, you need energy. So integration of the power is the energy in time. So power times time is energy. So anyway, so energy is, of course, joule is very small quantity. For example, we use exajoule. I'm going to give you those units anyway. So let's say kilowatt hour. Olmadı bu ya. Sığmadı buraya. Just a moment. Moment. Siliyoruz. Hatta megawatt hour diyeyim ya. Mega watt hour. So energy divided by money. Okay, this is called energy efficiency. Sorry, energy intensity. So I'm going to ask you also, what is the difference between energy efficiency and energy intensity? Energy intensity also defines some, for example, what is the energy intensity of industry? What is the energy intensity of residential area? That kind of definition also possible. But mainly, countries are compared with their energy intensity. So lower the energy intensity is the better. That means you are producing more wealth with less energy. You are consuming less energy. If you have a factory, for example, software companies, if you have a lot of software companies, if you have a lot of, let's say, small manufacturing factories, that means you are producing more add-ons, you are producing more wealth with less energy. So that's good. That's why Switzerland, for example, is very good comparing with other countries. And also the underdeveloped countries or undeveloped countries are very undeveloped countries, also different picture, since they don't use energy. Very poor countries are, particularly those in Africa, for example, warm countries, they warm up with the sun, so they don't have the technology, they don't have industry, not much, of course. Then they use less energy, but their gross domestic product is very low too. But the ratio is misleading for those very poor countries. For industrial countries, we have to compare the energy intensity. I hope when you complete this course, I hope you never forget what energy intensity is all about. Tamam. The population rise will increase the energy policy. Economic growth will actually cause people using more energy, but that the intellectual level is getting up, then the energy is getting down. So people instead of using big petroleum cars, they feel that they are humiliated within the society. They prefer electric cars or hybrid electric cars and things like this. So it's a kind of popularity using less energy. How political unrest and wars are affected? Of course, it is. The war between Ukraine and Russia is a typical example. I have many stories about that one. For example, before the war, Germany was getting natural gas from Russia beneath the Baltic Sea, and the second one was also installed. So it was going to be huge amount of gas, similar to Turkey, for example. We also having huge amount of gas from Russia beneath the Black Sea, and they used to get energy, natural gas from Baltic Sea. But what happened after the war? That sanctions started. Sanctions means they said we are not going to buy uh, natural gas from Russia, since Russia is aggressive, is sending bombs to Ukraine and things like this. And also, some people caused, let's say, explosive in those pipelines. There's explosive occurred over there, and I believe, neyse söylemeyeyim. Yani ben batılı kaynaklar, Amerika filan, onlardan şüpheleniyorum. There might be this kind of sources in order to cut the relationship between Russia and Germany. The loser of that war, the one loser, the one loser. You tell me which countries are the loser of that war? You tell me. Biriniz yazsın. Did you understand the question? The war between Russia and Ukraine, now in the second year, which countries are the losers? And which countries are the winners? Bakayım ne yazacaksınız. Bekliyorum. I wait. Light diyor ki Ukraine loser, değil mi Ukraine? Loser, tamam. Light some said Ukraine is a loser. Başka? Başka loser? Russia is loser too. Russia's economy is very bad now, and also there are sanctions. They cannot sell energy to other countries, and also the Russian companies are, and also huge amount of money in European banks are located over there, blocked over there, and now they are using that money to supply Ukraine. So Russia is loser, no doubt about it. These are two major losers. But what about the other losers? Yasin, tell me why Germany? If you want Turkish, then I can convert it to English, or if you tell me in English, that's much better. Why, Yasin? Germany is loser. It's correct, by the way. Probably you can't open your microphone. I will tell you. Germany was getting natural gas from Russia and then selling a lot of goods to Russia.
Enough energy sources, teacher.
Yeah,
German.
well, That's right. They haven't got enough energy sources like us, like Turkey, and also uh, the price of the natural gas went up, tripled uh, last year, the year before. So they have to buy those natural gas from where? Which country did they take the natural gas? You remember? I'm not talking about you personally. The class, all the class. Which where Europe is getting natural gas now? United States, my dear students. They are getting natural gas from United States. So the winner of this war is United States, and the losers are Europeans, all the Europeans, but Germans are the worst loser. Turkey is somehow a little bit plus, not completely, not loser actually, uh, not a winner, but some we have some plus. Since we have neighboring conditions with Russia, we are continuing the agreements. We are not using sanctions. They are not saying us that you have to continue since all of the energy is coming, most of the energy is coming, some of them from Iran, which United States is not happy about this, and most of them are coming from Russia. So they couldn't be able to say to us that stop. Therefore, we are getting energy, and also a lot of Russian companies enter Istanbul, Ankara, uh, and also the south part of Turkey. They form a companies in Turkey, and they start business as if they are kind of Turkish companies. You understand what I mean? There is a blockade to Russian companies. What is starting at 10 o'clock? İsmet, which lesson?
Teknoloji management profesör.
Technology management. Who is
Ya.
teaching? It's an interesting course.
Ya.
Who is teaching?
Mehmet Tevfik.
Mehmet Tevfik hocam.
İyi hocadır ha.
Evet hocam.
Çocuklar daha ama 10 dakika var. Bir kere 10 dakikamızı bir değerlendirelim. Ya şimdi bir saat çok az be çocuklar. Yani nasıl yapacağız? Kaç kişi var böyle diğer derse gidecek olan? How many
Hocam
percent of your...
normalde diğer ders saat öğlen 1'deydi de yani bu hafta için 10-11'e mi aldı? Bundan sonrası için 10-11'e mi aldı Mehmet Tevfik Hoca bilmiyorum.
Kaç kişisiniz siz öyle? Atıl da
Yaklaşık,
gidiyor.
yaklaşık,
Haçal gidiyor.
yaklaşık 25 kişi varız rahat hocam.
O zaman çocuklar tam 9'da saat gibi başlayacağım. Belki daha
Tamam.
bile erken başlarım. Onu konuşuruz aramızda.
Olur.
Ve saat 10'da da bitireceğim. Bir
Tamam.
dakika bile geciktirmeyeceğim. Tamam mı?
Tamam.
Yoklamamı da ona bir kala, iki kala alacağım. I'm sorry for Turkish. So the course is going to end at 10 o'clock. At least today. Next week you tell me what's going on. Okay? Devam edelim şimdi. Şimdi başka. How political unrest, of course, we have discussed that one. Is education affect policy? Yes, it does. Educated people are using less energy. They prefer to use efficient devices. They would like to use electric cars, for example, and things like this. What about natural disasters and epidemic diseases? Natural disasters, of course, we have earthquake last year, is badly affecting, and also the gales and things like this, causing epidemic disease. Who is going to interpret on this one? Just 1 minute. Come on, hurry up. What about the pandemic part? We already passed now, but what happened then? Light, you have to wait. I'm going to take the. You have to wait. Still we have 6 minutes to 11. Yasin is the last person. Muhammed Refik, seni de alıyorum, onu da alıyorum. Yoklama yapıyorum, bir dakika. Gitmeyin. Yoklama, while I was recording those, even it gives you who is connected mobile, who is connected with online and things like this. So let's have a look at the list. Yes, I have taken the list. The last person was Yasin Çelik. The first person is Abdurrahman Mahmud. Okay, I come back to the classroom now.
Have a nice weekend profesör.
Efendim?
Görüşmek üzere hocam. Ben diğer derse geçiyorum.
Tamam, tamam.
Açılır.
I'm going to terminate the course anyway.
Teşekkür ederiz hocam. Kolay gelsin.
Okay, hadi güle güle. What are the parameters affecting global energy policy? This is what we are going to start. So I'm going to put a note here. Start. Okay, all the best, my dear students. I'm going to give home assignments, so follow always learn system. Okay, not this week, but open all the time learn system. All right. Good luck all. See you then. Bye bye.
Tüh, tüh.